Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about diesel particulate filters. Now for those of you that don't know what they are, they're essentially a filter right high up on the exhaust, just literally just outside the engine, that filters diesel particulates. Pretty clues in the name really. They're also known as DPFs, and it catches the real sooty stuff that comes out of diesel engines. What they do is improve all of the sort of day-to-day CO2 emissions, etc., make the car run cleaner, and just make the cars much cleaner when it comes to emissions, etc. Now they do come with their own set of problems, so in this video we're going to talk about how to avoid those problems and how to do what's called a regen, which is essentially where you clean the filter out just by driving the car. So it's a really nice, simple thing to do. So first of all, the issues that you can get are essentially the filter clogs up and it gets to a point where it can no longer regenerate itself, which is essentially empty itself, and you have to replace it. Now they're really expensive to replace because they're right at the back of the engine, difficult to get to, and they've got all sorts of expensive stuff inside them as well, which makes just an expensive part to buy, as well as an expensive part to have fitted. So really, if we can avoid them getting clogged up too much, then we're going to save everyone money. So that's really the point of this video. So what we can do, or the reason they get clogged up in the first place, is if you do short journeys in a diesel car. So essentially, if your drive is less than sort of 15 minutes and the car isn't able to get up to operating temperature, then the soot that generates from the engine is going to get stuck in that filter, and if that filter gets really full up, then it's just going to stop working. And a lot of this time this manifests itself in the form of either a specific DPF warning light on your dashboard or an engine warning light. It'll also throw codes on a code reader as well. So it's pretty evident when this happens. When the lights come on, it's usually got a buffer of about 20% capacity left on the DPF. So if you still got, if the light first comes on, you've still got a chance to rectify the issue. So that's sort of a saving grace really for most people. A lot of people panic when the light comes on, but you've still got a bit of a window to get things sorted. So those of you that do long journeys, you're probably unlikely to ever experience this at all, because it's a long journey that really allows the filter to clean itself. Essentially what happens is that the car has to get up to an appropriate temperature, get up to full temperature, and then the engine heat burns off the soot from the filter. It then comes out the back of the car and the filter cleans itself essentially in that process. Now Volvo state, and this is coming directly from the Volvo manual, that the car needs to be taken up to operating temperature. So you need to be at full temperature. Probably these cars don't have the unfortunately they don't have a temperature gauge on them. The diesels don't anyway, and so essentially you want to drive for about 15-20 minutes just on a nice easy run. Don't accelerate too hard, just so the car's getting up to temperature. An easier way to tell as well is to turn your air conditioning off and turn your heating up. So once you feel the heating come through, that's usually a sign that your car's heating up. Some of these cars do come with a heater though, so don't take that as gospel. But yeah, just essentially drive the car for a bit until it's up to more normal operating temperatures, and then Volvo recommend driving for at least 20 minutes to properly regen the DPF. So what this does is essentially, like I said, creates enough temperature in the exhaust to burn off the soot and clean the filter out. This is most easily done on a motorway, to be honest, guys. If you've got cruise control or anything like that, just head to the local motorway. If you've got one, I mean, the motorway here, we're quite rural, so it's about 45 minutes away to the nearest motorway. So we have to sort of make do with A roads. But if you can keep that car sort of above 40 miles an hour for 20 minutes, then once you've reached operating temperature and done that for an extra 20 minutes, then your car should be good to go, and that will clear your DPF. Now there are something called forced DPF regen, which is something that is really a last resort. If you get really clogged up on your DPF and a standard regeneration does not work, or if you've got a fault with the DPF sensors, then you can do something called a forced regen, which is essentially where you tell the car to do it no matter what. It's sort of like a last resort that mechanics can use scanning tools. I mean, you can get apps that do it now. For a Volvo, you'd need to use VIDA, which is the Volvo interface diagnostics, and something else. So that essentially, forces the regen, forces the car to do it, and will then do it as a last resort. But like I said, if the filter is too full, then it will not do it at all. So that's something you need to bear in mind. If you have a diesel car and you only do short journeys in it, then just try to take it on a motorway perhaps once a month. Volvo recommend doing it between each fill up, so each time you fill your car up, you should probably do a proper DPF regen. Just drive for 20 minutes at full temperature, because like they say, it just avoids issues. Because one of those things, it's a really good idea until it causes issues for you if you're not used correctly. And bizarrely, car manufacturers don't actually tell you how to do it. So it's all in the manual, but they don't actually ever tell you specifically. So that's what this video is for. Just a few things. When the regen is occurring, you can often get increased fuel consumption, because essentially the car is chucking more fuel into the mixture to make the exhaust temperatures get hotter in order to burn that. So don't be alarmed if your MPG drops, because it's just regenerating the DPF. Another thing that can happen is you can smell burning sometimes, and that's just the soot coming out of the exhaust or burning off the exhaust. And also you can sometimes get some sort of dark smoke. But these are all normal, so if that happens, then it's usually not a bad sign. If it's persistent and it stays forever, then you probably want to get it checked out. But if you're intentionally doing a regen, or you're in no circumstances where a regen can happen, then don't worry too much. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for plenty more car content. Let me know if this video is helpful to you. Any questions for me, just stick them in the comment box below, and I'll get back to you. Cheers.